Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Today, we're going to talk about a convention that's coming up this weekend just south of the border, south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, down in beautiful Rockford, Illinois. I don't know if you've been to RockCon. I went years ago. I've not been back for a while. There's just so many things to do up here. It's hard to add it into the schedule. I've only been to GameholeCon twice and just for a day each time, so it's not like I get far afield. GaryCon's right in my backyard, and now we got EGGCon and DragonFest days. So keep those in mind when they're coming up. I don't even get over to Dragonfall. I poked my head in a couple of times, and that's right at the Grand Geneva. It's a big wargaming convention. And RockCon is largely that as well. It absorbed NavCon some time back, which was another Northern Illinois game convention focused mainly on naval wargaming. And I think that was a pretty good move for them. It allowed them to combine their staffs and their resources and make themselves a little bit larger, but a little more broad in the kinds of wargaming. Now, of course, Little Wars is the HMGS Midwest flagship convention, I guess one would say. That happens every year, but there are other wargaming conventions, and I think RockCon, although its mission is to do a bit more than just wargaming, is certainly one of them. I think there's a fair amount of board gaming there. There's a bit of RPGing. In fact, this year, they're famous for having a lot of the TSR guys come down. But of course, all those guys back in those days were also what's their names? Wargamers as well as RPGers, and that was certainly something that appealed to them a lot. Harold Johnson and Dan Hauser are special guests for them this year. Oh, I should pop this up over there. Yeah, there we go. November 1st to 3rd. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I unfortunately have some other family matters to attend to, so I will not be able to attend, but I urge others, if you're in the area and available, go join Harold. These TSR guys, you gotta get a chance to play with them when you can, for sure. And this is an opportunity to game with Harold on a couple different fronts, so check that out. Here, let me pop over. They're right down there at the Tabala, I want to say, Event Center in Rockford, Illinois, on Newburgh Road, 7910. Hope I'm pronouncing that location correctly. Rockford, is that how you say? Yeah, I'm kidding. It's the event center's name that I'm not 100% sure on, but that's okay. It doesn't change where it is. Special guest. There's our friend. Well, let's look at Dan Hauser. He's up top there. He's a professional RPG illustrator. He's worked in many types of games. He's most well known for his work as a line artist on Icons RPG by Ad Infinitum and Green Ronin Games, but has done work for Goodman Games, Gaming Paper, and several other companies. Yeah, not even going to try. He resides in Milton, Wisconsin. That's just outside of Madison, I think southwest of Madison itself. That's where the game hole, the actual game hole, is located. With a wife, a dog, and a pair of cats. There you go. Harold Johnson. He's the owner, event consultant, and designer for Epic Quest Productions. In the fall of 1978, Johnson responded to an ad in Dragon magazine for a job as a games editor at the magazine's publisher TSR. He was not selected for the job after the interview, but applied for another job with TSR as a game designer, but instead TSR hired him as an editor. His first assignment was as a copy editor on the original Dungeon Master's Guide, to which he also contributed some rules. He also began working on a tournament module, which would later become C1, Hidden Shrine of Tamochan. That was to prove to the company I could write, he is quoted as saying. Johnson was promoted to manager of production less than 7 months after being hired by TSR. Responsibility for editing, layout, and dealing with the printers, from design turnover to manufacturing turnover. In the following years, Johnson worked as assistant to the vice president for research and development, manager of game design, and manager of editing. In 1982, Johnson was promoted to director of games research and development. That same year, Johnson married his wife, VJ, and in 1984, they had their first child, Allison. You know, he is a storied, long-time game industry professional who is well worth spending some time with. I'm very lucky in that he often makes his way over to Culver's to game with Tom Wam and whoever is there also playing, so it's very fortunate for those of us who get the chance to play with him here in Lake Geneva. But if you don't, then by all means make your way over to RockCon, and of course make your way to the Grand Geneva for GaryCon next March as well. Maybe you'll get a couple opportunities to play with him. Well, there you go. It's happening this weekend. Go check it out. Be sure to have some fun and play some games. RockCon November 1st through 3rd, and just go to RockCon. I'll have the link in the show notes. You can check that out from there. This has been the OK Grognard Show, talking about RockCon 2024, November 1st through 3rd in Rockford, Illinois. The show streams live on Twitch each Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central, and it's archived on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, thumbs up, leave positive feedback if you would. It would be fantastic. It's much appreciated. Thanks to our Patreon supporters. The links are provided in the show notes. Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Carlos Lysing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Varnden of the D&D 20, Dave O'Brien, Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland of Gaxland, Vince Ragusa, a.k.a. the Vince himself, Unauthorized User, and, as always, Shane Bradley, DM Extraordinaire. There's Vince in the chat now. Hey, Vince. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Thank you, and bye-bye.